Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about be careful, Uber caught me. UberEats Delivery driver says customers are catching onto her. Is this common delivery practice dangerous? So there are a lot of little tips and tricks that a lot of drivers tend to adopt as they're going through their delivery driving experience, and some of which are market to market, so you don't really talk about it. Or at least into the capacity of being a content creator and calling it a particular pro tip. But this driver is actually talking specifically about that. So I'm actually interested in hearing what she's got to say. So with that said, we are talking about everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub drivers and customers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. An UberEats delivery driver recently shared her experience of a customer questioning why the app claimed she was delivering on a bike when she clearly wasn't. In her video, which has garnered over 392,000 views at the time of writing, TikTok user Adrian at Itsalwaysadriennee laughs through the retelling of an encounter. The things you do for content, huh? I'm going to leave their TikTok as well as their profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. Okay, this was going in a direction I had no idea where it was going, so way to bury the lead. Here I thought I was going to hear a good pro tip. This is actually a common practice for fraud. You can't actually do that, violating contracts, especially when there's a lot of markets where there's a very limited number of bike riders that can realistically be gig workers, so I think this is a crappy thing to do. How did the delivery driver get caught? Adrian had recently started delivering for Uber Eats, opting to use the platform to make some money before beginning her new job at Starbucks, as she explained in a previous video. However, she claims there was a small hiccup when she tried to set up her account. Due to issues with her car's insurance, she chose the bike option to get started. While it wasn't ideal, it allowed her to take on orders, but it also led to some misunderstandings. You mean like misunderstandings on why people are looking for a bike and you're hopping out of a car? Yeah, that's part of it. Now, a lot of drivers also use this to scam the system to try to get shorter distance orders with higher payouts. But honestly, it's kind of messed up, especially if you're in a market where there's an extreme wait list for bike riding drivers. So honestly, kind of screwed up in my opinion. Although a lot of people try to dodge insurance that way, especially if they don't know who to go through for insurance purposes. I really should make a video going through valid options for insurance. I personally go Progressive. I know that there are others, but that's my personal preference. But either way, find an insurance company that works for you.
Bitches, the customers are catching on to me. I just delivered to an apartment building and I handed the order to this lady and she was like, she walked away for a second, but then she walked back and I was like, yeah? And I was closing my car door and I opened it again and she's like, did you know that they say that you're delivering on a bike?
Yeah, did you know that you're scamming the system? Did you know they think you're a bike rider and yet you're driving at 30, 40 miles an hour? Did you know that? I'm sure they know that.
And at this time I was like, yes, I know. I did it by accident. I don't know how to fix it.
I remember ordering an Uber from the airport, right? And at the time I was looking for a Toyota Corolla and they pull up in a Kia something. And I don't have a problem with somebody who's actually the owner of the account having a different car. That's fine. If I'm getting in the car, that's a big deal. If they're in a different means of transportation of delivering my order, it's not that big a deal until it's like, I'm looking for you, where are you? And we all know they're just trying to scam the system at this point. Not condoning it, I'm just saying we're aware of it.
She started laughing her ass off. She was like, you know, it said that you were arriving on a bike, so I came down here because I was like, I need to see her ass on this bike. And she was so fucking funny. Like, she was a fucking riot, bitch. And I don't know, it was killing me. But this is the second time now in 2 days.
Because people are tired of wondering who the hell is dealing with their food. And if they can't trust that you're going to provide the proper information for vehicle purposes, what makes you think that they're going to trust you with their food? Is the practice common for UberEats delivery drivers? While it's unclear exactly how often UberEats delivery drivers falsely select bike as their mode of transportation while actually using a car, online discussions suggest the practice is fairly common. For instance, in a thread on r/askuk, users speculated why some drivers might do this. One commenter wrote, they do it because if you register a bike on the app, you don't have to prove a driving license or pay for insurance. Ultimately, they are driving uninsured, and therefore, yes, they are breaking the law. People think that the platforms are just okay with whatever with these people who are renting out accounts or saying they're riding a bike when they're not. They're really not. Similarly, a Quora user suggested that the short distance deliveries or issues with car documentation might drive this choice, noting registering a car for Uber is like fighting Godzilla, so it's easier to just register for a bike. I don't know if registering a car is harder, because the couple times I had to do it was relatively easy, but I'll tell you this, it is a lot easier to register for bike. It's also better for insurance, because some people get around the concept of talking to their insurance about Uber or Doordash avoid certain fees, even though I'm not a fan of it. Uber itself may already be aware of this practice, as its website advises customers if the delivery person's vehicle doesn't match what's shown in the app, let us know below. Oh, they know. That's not they might be aware of this practice. They absolutely know of this practice. This is a concept that is years old at this point. For example, car drivers registered as bicyclists bypass key verifications like car insurance or proper vehicle registration. According to the Insurance Information Institute, driving without insurance not only violates the law, but leaves both the driver and others on the road unprotected in the event of an accident. Additionally, when delivery times are calculated based on bicycles but completed by cars, drivers might face pressure to meet unrealistic deadlines, leading to unsafe driving habits. And it also might end up getting completed faster than they want it to, in which would cause the customer their order arriving sooner than they can actually accept the order, but that's a different conversation. Viewers share their own experiences. In the comment section, viewers stated similar to situations they were in involving Uber Eats. In one sim, my driver was on foot. He was in fact in a car, shared one viewer. Oh yeah, I remember doing an article on this subject specifically about an Uber driver that was on foot the entire time. That's crazy to think about. Be careful, Uber caught me, wrote another, further explaining it was because they had completed orders too fast. You see, that's what I'm talking about. That will actually put you in a position of fraud. One time it said someone was delivering my order on a bike and he was actually on foot walking, said a third. And I was like, you're telling me you walked? You know, there could be more reasons for that though, like the bike actually got a flat tire or something. I doubt that's actually the case, but that is more likely, in my opinion, than somebody being a foot delivery person rather than a bike delivery person, because I don't think anybody would willingly choose to be on a foot as opposed to on a bike. That's just me though. It's my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. Don't need to pay me. There you go. I'm going to say as straightforward as possible. If you're a delivery driver that has a bike account and is driving a car, you're an asshole. You're an asshole. You're preventing other people from being able to hop onto the platform as bike riders and be able to deliver that way. And there's a very limited number of those in each area, as opposed to being a delivery driver. Not to mention, we all know that it's mainly for insurance purposes. It's mainly because you don't want your MVR checked, and a bunch of other reasons that aren't really plausible. And if you're one of those people that are trying to get higher paying orders for shorter distances, why? It's a waste of time. If you really need to make more money that badly, you could just very well be diversifying your gig portfolio, developing an exit strategy. But no, you decide to scam the system and show your scarcity mindset trying to do that crap, which is exactly why I do preach things like diversifying your gig portfolio. One of the very many things that you can accomplish in the Driven Wyld Discord server. The Driven Wyld Discord community is exclusive for gig workers looking to expand their knowledge and expertise in their self-employment and entrepreneurial journey. I've partnered with high-level professionals to bring you some of the most exclusive benefits based on your personal needs as a gig worker. Exclusive professional opportunities and gig postings. More live streams with high-level professionals in our industry. Educational systems designed to help you build your own dispatch company as well as other scalable opportunities. Driven Wyld is also kicking off their Dispatching for Beginners course, and we are changing the game and transforming how businesses serve customers and how gig workers get more opportunities. So whether you're a gig worker looking for more opportunities to earn or an exit strategy because the gig economy is an income bridge to what would be a long-term goal and not the goal, and you would like to see something with more growth potential and scalability, there's something here for you. Check the link in the description and get started on making the most amount of money and in the least amount of time and in the safest possible way. We are excited and looking forward to helping you secure your financial future. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.